are the main important points in the design process of a high conversion chatbot to actually provide added value? I would say would be maybe the first one. When thinking about how to create actually really good chatbot, you need to know the people who are interacting with it, or you can use the chatbot to learn heaps of information from those people. Anyway, I would say maybe at this point there's some content created on this, but how to get on with it is to ask questions, to ask the right questions, and it's actually something we've covered here. And how do we get to the bottom of the correct questions is to start with, as it's written down here, who are they? What are they looking for? These aren't maybe the questions you will ask in the bot, but something to start with when you are starting to create the bot dialogue. Who are you creating it for? What do you want to achieve with it? What are the most important things for this purpose? So that's definitely something. And then this is actually an important one, how educated buyers they are. So where is the most amount of value we can provide for them, and how easy it is for them to purchase your service or product. Because at times it's fairly easy, it's click and buy, but other times, nah, not that much. There might be more than just one issue to it. Either it's hard to grasp, it's just hard to buy. Some services can be a bit trickier when it comes to the actual buying of it. So there, it might make sense to have the bot to help even the slightest bit. So what is your take for the current increase in traffic due to the COVID-19, which we are, I think everyone is currently painfully aware about? What should we look into to make sure that we take all opportunities from this increase in traffic? I'd say that especially now, when the increase in traffic has been ridiculously high, make sure that your site has enough conversion points and something that is easy and quick for your site visitor. And then make sure that your site actually provides service as well. So if it's not simple and easy to buy from you, as in I said, the click and buy kind of thing, make sure that there's something that makes it easier, that provides the help for your site visitor. Be it like it can be a bot, as we do have our CMO Santo here, Santo bot, and here we are looking forward to help the person who lands on our front page. So here's what we can do for them. Okay, they want more leads, more sales. What's the issue? So just pick out an angle or two and let's test it out. Then make it simple enough for people to actually understand what is it about and how they can move forward with it. but that's therefore something. And I think increase in traffic means as well, of course, there's people who are maybe already your clients. So how can you serve those better? And maybe even most importantly, how can you know who is already your client and who is a new one, who is a prospect, who would maybe love to be your client? And well, our solution can help with this and try to pick out the correct questions. Are you already familiar with us? Are you already on board with us? Or are you a new one? All these kinds of questions can be put to place and gather all that important data. Now it's like really long answer to like fairly simple question. But I would say when talking about taking all the opportunities and how to utilize every single opportunity, I would say make sure there's enough conversion points and you have defined at least to a certain level what you can count as a conversion. But maybe this again answered this one. If there is any like you want to dig deeper into this, I would be more than happy to. Or if there's a specific thing, maybe bot type or something in mind that you would like to know maybe more of, how some certain types of solutions can help with different kinds of things, especially with this increase in traffic, I'm more than happy to help with it. And actually, one thing I was thinking, especially like with this current situation where people need to be at home or like apart from their colleagues, and there might be some differences how to work from home. At least some people may see it really differently. So if there's like an internal page like Intra or something where you could embed a bot like regarding these kinds of things, you could maybe go and just click, ask questions. Is it okay if I work from this time until this time, or how does the process go? These kinds of things could be actually also utilized with a bot. So all the information would be gathered in the same place. You would say maybe Intra should be anyway that place, but I don't know. Maybe not everyone goes through like all the bits and pieces of the data and information there that frequently. If something like this could be lifted quite up high. I don't know, just throwing it out there. Best way to identify a problem of a conversion in a bot. So if I understand this correctly, let's see. I mean, you can correct me if I'm completely somewhere out there. But if there is a problem of conversion in a bot on your site, first things that I would check is there enough traffic? I'd hope there is. If there's enough traffic and the bot has been triggered, so the bot has been able to open and the bot has been also discussed with, so we can say that at least the starting of the dialogue works, then I would check that where does the person drop off. So when is the point in the dialogue when they are not just going to reply anymore? Then testing different solutions, I would say, is quite a key in it, because everything's a best guess in a way. Just saying. No, but testing different kinds of phrasing, for example. So how are we going to ask for some details, for phone number or email? Do we need to switch it up actually? Do we need to ask either or do we need to give the people the opportunity to choose? Do they want to be contacted with what kind of device or in what way, shape or form? And for example, here I will use Santo as my go-to now. I could use my own, but who does not love Santo? But here, for example, I have already clicked I need more cells option, just to quickly, hello, oh, there's Santo. So here's quite many options. Okay, all relevant. Okay, I need more cells. Then providing information, and then going forward with, would you mind answering a couple of questions? Okay, now your website visitor knows they are going to be asked for a couple of questions, and it's really important to lead the dialogue. So please tell how is it going to move forward, because otherwise it's just going to be questions and questions, and then maybe someone asking contact details, and it might not feel natural. It might not feel I have my daughter at home. But yeah, it might not feel natural. It might not feel as a dialogue per se. So those kinds of things are also important to be checked. But it's really good here. And we are also like asking for permission to ask a couple of questions. Okay, then we can go on, and then we can get to the data part as well. So okay, so this is your traffic, average a month. Then, oh, by the way, where are you located? This is important data together. So it really depends how you measure what's a conversion actually, and then really like first checking if the all basic stuff is in place. So triggers, discussions, and then the bot dialogue. So where does the dialogue most often end? And then creating maybe a A/B test or something of it with, let's say, two different hypotheses. So one maybe with a simpler dialogue or rephrasing, and then maybe other with tweaks in how you are going to gather the contact information. But I hope again my long answer answered your simple question. But there's always so many different things to consider and go through, so it's hard to answer in one sentence as well. But these are like the things you can consider when thinking where is a problem. And this again pours down to the design process of the bot. So sometimes you might need to just blow it up and then build it again, and that's fine, because at times it just might work better when it's just built completely new. It's just completely renewed even. So what if someone's bots don't work? So if they are currently not getting any results, That's why we have our brilliant optimization teams. So we are taking really good care of our clients and how we are really on the lookout to gain the results for them. And basically the process goes, once someone gets on board with us and we create the first up to 10 bots for them, then it's a month-long period, and then when the bots are live, the first set of bots, then our optimization team sits down with this client and then goes through the results already after the first month, and then again at after some time. And this is a process we're really proud about as well. Okay, I will keep at this topic a bit longer, even though Remy shot me with many questions. I love it. So if they are currently not getting results, our optimization team will help you with it. And then look for the things already discussed, so where the problem might be, and then going it through with you, and then coming up with solutions to help the situation and to turn it for better. And second question is, why are bots more powerful than contact forms? Okay, I would love to have a contact form on our page, so I could actually fairly easily show it what's the really big difference. But why interactive works better? Well, here, we can already see that if here was to be a form, it would say first name, last name, company, title, location, address, whatnot, and then contact information, and then open field for questions or whatever you would like to write there. It's hard, it's heavy, it creates a cognitive load. I do not know how would I want to phrase my question. Is my question actually already being answered somewhere on the site? Am I being dumb if I ask something? I don't know. There's a gazillion of things that might go through one's mind in this kind of situation, and therefore bots that can already direct you to a certain place, to certain content, basically anywhere. It provides better user experience, it makes it easier, it makes it quicker, and quite often the quick and easy is the way to win it as well. So this, again, Santtu. But here we can already provide easily more information, where are they looking to improve their performance, is it generating more leads, recruiting best talent, anything. And then we can provide a solution, we can tell more already here. So this is something that contact forms cannot do, and that's why I day and night I would prefer talking to this kind of bot instead of just filling out a cold contact form, waiting for someone to reply me at some point. I would not know when they would contact me, and this already gives me information I'm looking for, information that creates confidence So I can be confident with the service provider I'm discussing with, and then, okay, well, it would be rather simple to just go on and maybe leave my contact information here. Would you like our team to contact you through email or by phone? I prefer email. Phone is good and fast. So yet again, I already have an opportunity to like be on top of the situation, and this is important to me as like being a paying client. So here we go. Then asking for contact details, and it's really that quick and dirty. It's like super easy. There, that's why I would prefer, like 11 out of 10 times I would prefer talking with a bot compared to filling out, I don't know, contact form. And this actually has a really valid point also when it comes to recruitment, because we've all seen the 9-page long forms for applying for a job. I don't know what about like anyone else thinks. Here, like, you can really just shoot me down with my opinion. I will still stand by it though. But I would not like to think that applying for a job should be like as hard as having a day job, because those 9 pages, like, whoa, they do take time to get filled. And then there's quite often the same things asked time after time after time, but just in a different form, or like, it's too hard, okay? Too hard. And therefore, bots also, when used in recruitment, is actually really good. Simple, awesome way to get that highly wanted talent to leave their contact information, because there's always people who might be interested in joining you, or might be interested in maybe switching jobs or talking about new opportunities. But doing that by leaving an open application with CV and cover letter, or then just filling out the whole form thingy, it's hard. It might be just a little too hard, and then they skip it. And does someone actually want to skip on a really great developer or designer or any other kind of talent that is really high on demand currently? I'm not sure. So moving on. If a client already has a live chat, why change to a chatbot, and what are the main benefits? So here, it's not even necessarily something you should only change to, because our platform has the opportunity that you can use both. We call it hybrid chat. But why change to a chatbot if we are looking strictly to this question? If a client already has a live chat, why change to a chatbot? Because your live chat most likely answers to the same questions every time. Like, most parts of the time, questions are rather similar, and those could be automated. So your service experience could be actually a bit better even, because that person who is answering to the same questions over and over and over again would really maybe use their time more wisely and creating a better service for their clients when they would have more time in their hands. But why change to a chatbot also is because then it's easier to gather the data, and or maybe if you're thinking about building a hybrid, so you could have the live chat option in it as well, and then the automated questions or like these certain dialogue flows already built in. It's easier to gather the data. It's easier to see what kinds of things maybe need to be addressed more in the website content, or what kind of questions arise the most often, and so on. Because I don't know of you guys, but I've done manual reporting on like about live chat discussions, and manual reporting on live chat discussions, let's say for a month period, if there's high traffic, there's plenty of discussions starting daily, it gets tricky, it gets hard, it's messy, it's all like Excel sheets. And then someone would actually need to fine-tune that Excel sheet to something usable, to actually to be used. And I don't know, I prefer my data clean and simple and as easy and ready to be used as possible. So that's why I would prefer at least some automation, like at least a hybrid model of the chatbot. What are the most common use cases of a chatbot? What can we use them for? Well, what cannot you use them for? Use it for anything, like literally anything, for just overall sales, generate leads, automate your customer service processes, give your CS people more time to serve than just to answer the same questions all over again and again and again and then some. The recruitment, which I already had slightest rant about, because that's also something. Campaigns, especially if you are looking an easy way to get the attention of your website visitor, and then provide really simple, quick way for people to leave their contact information or subscribe to your newsletter or anywhere. So really good ways to utilize chatbots. Basically any use case, hit me with something, hit me with a scenario, and I will tell you how you can do it. How about this? Because it's always simple to go with an actual example. And at least for me, I would say, if I was to just come up with a scenario, currently I would really utilize chatbots in any shape or form, be it as Santtu is here, an in-page or actual chatbot that would pop here, doesn't matter. I would utilize it for really quick conversion, because quite often there is already certain thing in mind when your website visitor, big word, I see, okay, when they arrive to a page. So if there's a really direct thing you can do, subscribe, leave your contact information and we will call you back. Anything, it can be bold, it can be big, just now is the time to make the most of it as well. And I would say if I was to recruit a developer, this is first thing that comes to mind. I would really make it as simple as possible for them to leave their information and maybe a link to a GitHub or something, and then off it goes. Then you can just call them or ping them in whatever way you prefer, and then get going on with that. So now we've covered what are the main important points in design process of a high conversion chatbot, and as pointed out, we have design process behind a great chatbot blog post. Who would have thought? By yours truly. Then there's this question: for the current increase in traffic due to COVID-19, what should we look into to make sure that we take all opportunities from this increase in traffic? Make sure that there are enough conversion points on your site, and make sure that they are actually relevant and they are easy to use and really close to your customer. Then there was a question of best way to identify a problem of conversion in a chatbot. So hopefully the issue isn't traffic, but that's something to start with. Is there enough traffic? Are the bots, or is the bot able to trigger, so even open to the page visitors? So how many triggers there has been, how many discussions, so are people actually getting active with it, or is it just something they just click away, or they just decide not to talk with it or interact with it? And then to really go through the bot dialogue, is there a specific spot where those people always seem to drop off? And then going back to this design process to actually go through the bot dialogue with a fine-tooth comb and see what could be improved. And if you cannot do it by yourself, please just shoot us an email and we are more than happy to help you with it. And covering the same thing bit is what if those bots are not working, and if you are not getting any results, just let us know and we will help you, and we will go through it with you and we will come up with a solution. And why bots over contact forms? That's definitely the interactive part of bots that just work the best. They provide the service, they provide the information, they take off the cognitive load from your page visitor. It's way easier and it's quicker. And then, what is the conversion rate at which you consider a chatbot to be successful or performing well? Well, we have this rule of thumb. So for every 100 triggers, so when the bot is able to open, is triggered 100 times, there's approximately 10 discussions, 10 active discussions, and from those there's 1 to 2 leads. So this is really rule of thumb. There really can be some exceptions to this. It might be a case of like what industry you're in, or what's the service or product you're trying to gather lead to. But anyway, the rule of thumb is 110, 1. And to get to those 100 triggers, it for sure means that there needs to be traffic on your site that the bots are able to trigger 100 times. But this is a really good baseline. to start with. And I jumped over one question when I went through the previous ones. So what are the most common use cases of a chatbot, and what can we use them for? Basically anything. And now if there would be like an actual use case you would like me to answer, and how I would create a solution for it, or how I would solve it, just shoot, let me know, mock-up scenario, anything, and I can use the rest of the time the last 5 minutes to solve it. But most common use cases can be basically anything you can think of, and really those can be also utilized in internal communication. If there's like a common platform your people use, basically just on the web somewhere, page, then you could easily add a bot on the site. If there's, I don't know, regarding your workspace, healthcare, or anything, like any use case. I would use these to communicate basically at least 50% of my stuff. But at least I thanks Remy for your questions. Hopefully everyone got something out of this. We will be here again tomorrow. I will fix that chat issue so that chat is going to be visible for tomorrow's stream. It should have been today as well. I'm not sure if the issue was only in one end or where it was, but I will figure it out. and yeah, for any questions that might arise, you can also send me a message on Twitter or in LinkedIn or I don't know, Instagram, you name it, or send me an email to Jemmi@leadoo.com. So thanks for joining, and let's see you tomorrow here on Twitch.